Shri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Sri Sai Satcharitra, an insight. Episode 310. My humble prostrations at the lotus feet of our Sadguru Sai. By the divine grace of Sri Sai, an attempt has been made to translate the gist of the divine discourse of Sri Ramanathan brother telecasted on Sai TV. This is purely done to share the glory of Sri Sai and his divine teachings with more insight to the aspirants. Om Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Dear devotees, we have been listening to the chapters related to Sri Sai Baba's Mahasamadhi. Devotees might wonder why we should celebrate the Mahasamadhi Day of the Saints. Is that not a day to mourn? Let's listen to the Sufi school of thoughts related to this topic. They commemorate the day as Urus. The term Urus in Arabic means wedding. The celebration is held at the saint's shrine or tomb in a very enthusiastic manner. The death anniversary of the saint is considered as the day the saint leaves the materialistic world and getting wedded with the Supreme Lord. As per the Islamic tradition, importance is given to Madhura Bhakti, that is Nayaka and Nayaki Bhav. According to that philosophy, the saint gets wedded to the Supreme Lord. Let's see what Hinduism has in store for us. The day the saint leaves his mortal coil is revered as Guru Puja Day. Special puja is performed by the devotees with great pomp and splendor in the Samadhi shrine of the Guru. In Sri Sai SATCHARITRA, chapter 42, OV 11, Hemat Panji points out that Sri Sai Baba's Mahasamadhi takes place in the Dakshinayana. A question may arise in the minds of some that whether Dakshinayan is an auspicious time for a soul to leave its body. Keeping in view that in Mahabharata, Bhishma maintained celibacy owing to the promise given by him to his father. Because of this great sacrifice, he was granted the highest boon to die at his own will. In the Kurukshetra war, he was lying on the bed of arrows after being defeated by Arjuna. Bhishma remained in that state waiting for the Uttarayan Punyakalam to dawn, as leaving the body in the Uttarayan is considered the perfect time. Devotees, please note, the merciful Lord waited for Bhishma to shed all the blood from his body, as that consists of the sins accumulated by the food consumed from the court of Duryodhana, and then gave his darshan to Bhishma, blessing him to sing his glory by chanting the Sri Vishnu Sahasranama to Yudhishthira as a response to one of his questions. Let's understand the terms Uttarayan and Dakshinayan. When the sun's movement is southward, it is Dakshinayan, and Uttarayan refers to the northward movement. There is a belief that if a person dies during Uttarayan period, they would not have rebirth, whereas south is the direction of the Lord of Death, Yama, and if death occurs during this time, the person must take rebirth. Hence, Uttarayan is preferred to be the best time for transition of the soul. Getting back to chapter 42, Sri Sai Baba's Mahasamadhi took place in the period of Dakshinayan, and Hemat Panji clarifies in 80th OV thus: be it Uttarayan or Dakshinayan, for he who has not to undertake the journey at all and whose life force merges with the Supreme where he is, it is like the light of the lamp being extinguished and it becoming dark. Few might ask, if Dakshinayan is not the appropriate time to depart the body, then why did Sri Sai Baba choose that time? We can listen to what one of the authors of Sai literature, Chakar Ajgovankar, has to say about this. He gives a list of comparisons that existed between Sri Sai and Sant Kabir. Sri Sai Maharaj is also considered to be an incarnation of Sant Kabir. There are many divine sports of the Sant that go parallel to Sri Sai Maharaj. Once, when Sri Sai was asked about the spiritual path he is trekking, Sri Sai declared that he follows Kabir Panth. There is a belief that both these supreme incarnations were born in a family following a particular religion but raised by another religion, that is, born in a Brahmin family but grew up in a Muslim family. Both the saints preached that Ram and Rahim were one and the same. The purpose of their incarnation was to unite these two religions. Haath mein Kaam, Dil mein Ram was their motto, which means you can be engaged in your own business but let the mind be immersed in God. Chakor Ajgoankar states that both have revolutionary thoughts. For instance, during the period of Kabir, there existed the belief that if a person dies in Kashi, he will attain liberation. This belief is prevalent even now. Even today, many aged people lodge in the rooms in Kashi so that they can leave their body in that holy place. Kabir Das asserted that it is very important for a person to lead a righteous life and stay devoted to attain liberation. An unrighteous person and who has no love for God cannot attain liberation merely by dying in a holy place. Those years there was rivalry between Hindus and Muslims. People led an unjust life. They committed many sinful acts in the name of religion. There were religious riots. Kabir's dohes were mind boggling. It emphasized on unity among the two religions. Kabir is known to have done weaving, so in his Dohe he writes, "All that I know is my looms. The white threads take the color of the dye and change to that color." Similarly, one cannot proclaim that God belongs to a particular color, as all colors denote God. His goal was to unite Hindus and Muslims. He strived hard to bring unity among the people of both the religions. Kabir criticizes the superstitious belief of the people that despite the sinful acts the person committed, he can escape the cycle of birth and death by merely dying at Kashi. Sri Sai Baba and Kabir are considered practical Vedantis, that is, they are not merely preachers of Vedanta, but they apply the philosophical teachings in their day to day life and live according to it. There was another belief, that is, if a person dies in a region known as Magar, which is considered to be a cursed place, it is sure that person will take rebirth. So none wants to die at Magar. Instead chose Kashi. In the end of 1917, Kabir Das made a most shocking announcement that he is going to go to Magar and depart his body. Sant Kabir's body was covered with a cloth. After he left his body, the Hindus and Muslims began to fight amongst each other, claiming the body to conduct the funeral as per their religious custom. But to everyone's surprise, they couldn't trace his mortal coil. The body disappeared, and what remained in that place was a heap of flowers. So it was a dramatic exit by Sant Kabir. Similar situation arose at the time of Sri Sai Baba's Mahasamadhi, says Chakor Ajgoankar. Hindus and Muslims had difference of opinion, as the Hindus wanted to cremate the holy body of Sri Sai Baba while the Muslims wanted to bury his body. Finally, by the inspiration of Sri Sai, both the communities agreed to place the holy body of Sri Sai Maharaj in the Bootivada. Sant Kabir, being a great saint and an enlightened soul, had no hesitation to choose Magar to leave his body. He had complete control over the elements of nature and can depart his body at his own will. So, for such a soul to leave the body at Magar or Kashi makes no difference. Hence, Sant Kabir would like to emphasize that the life one leads during their lifetime decides the transition of their soul, that is, liberation, and not merely the place where the soul departs his body. Likewise, for the divine incarnation, Sri Sai Maharaj, the time of his departure doesn't decide his soul's journey, as he has transcended time, has no limitations, and has realized his true nature, that is, identity or union with the Supreme. So for him, it was just cast off his sheath. Hence, when, where, and how he departs his body will not decide his soul's journey. Similarly, a person who has committed all the possible sins during his lifetime and has died during Uttarayan cannot be eligible to attain liberation, and that thought will be merely a superstitious belief, is the verdict of Sri Sai Baba. As saints with revolutionary thoughts, Kabir chose the place Magar and Sri Sai Baba opted Dakshinayan to leave his mortal coil, says Ajgoankar. Let's listen to the importance of Dashara. This marks the end of Navratri and the victory of good over evil. On this day, the chanting of mantra and the festivities of Durga Puja are at its best in West Bengal. That day is also celebrated as Simullangan in the northern parts of India, and the term got distorted and known to be Chilangan in Maharashtra. The Sanskrit term Chimollangana denotes trespassing or crossing the boundaries. Vijayadasami was considered the most auspicious time, hence, in the ancient days, the weapons were offered during puja, and it was customary for the kings to ceremoniously cross the territory of their nation and shoot few arrows towards the land of their enemies. This custom was known as Simollangan. Vijayadasami will be the closing day of Chaturmasya Vrat. Chaturmasya Vrat is observed by the saints and sannyasis. They will forbid traveling. The reason behind this restriction is this being the monsoon season, when they walk on foot, there is a possibility of them stamping the tiny creatures that move out freely during the winter. So the saints stay in a place for 4 months and practice the austerities and observe their fasting. On the day of Vijayadasami, as prescribed in the religious scriptures, the saints will resume their journey and chanting Sri Bhagavad Gita, cross the boundaries of that region and then return to the same place where they were lodging before. In Sri Sai SATCHARITRA, Hemat Panji writes, Sri Sai Maharaj crossed the boundaries of his material life, and for this he chose Vijayadasami. It was also the 9th day of Muharram festival celebrated by the Muslims. It is the night of the long knives, that is the massacre of Imam Hussain. That afternoon Sri Sai Baba prepared himself for eternal emancipation, says Hemat Panji. There is a small correction to be made. As per the Islamic tradition, the 10th day of Muharram is known as Ashura, and it is considered as a mourning day, as that day is commemorated as the death of Hussein, the grandson of Prophet Muhammad. So the night of the long knives happens on the 10th day. Devotees, Vijayadasami in the year 1918 was on the 9th day of Muharram. There is no doubt about that. We also have evidence to this fact from the assertions of Sri Sai Maharaj, which we will discuss soon. The term Muharram denotes sacred Safar, and this is the first month of the year in Islamic calendar. The 9th day of Muharram is known as Tashua. The 9th and 10th days of Muharram are very significant, as these days are dedicated to commemorating the death of Imam Hussain as per the Islamic tradition. Both Sunni and Shia Muslims celebrate this day by fasting, exchanging joy, and mourning processions. To conclude, Sri Sai Maharaj attained Mahasamadhi on the 9th day of Muharram, that is Tashua. We shall listen to the clairvoyance of Sri Sai Maharaj about his Mahasamadhi and more incredible leelas related to this in the coming episode. Bo to Sri Sai, peace be to all. Om Sai Ram.